Ladies and gentlemen, the beauty of sunsets and sunrises isn't just limited to day and night, but the magical spectrum in between. Instead of seeing things as purely right or wrong, black or white, let's dive into the fascinating middle ground, where we find the most important discoveries, true understanding, and real wisdom. Today, we are going on a journey to explore life's gray areas, where the most valuable lessons happen. You see, whenever I'm asked a question like, are you more of a morning person or a night person? Do you prefer summer or winter? Which side are you on? The answer is rarely one straight choice. I often find myself leaning towards more than one option, or trying to give the opinions that seem less right to me a chance to understand where they're coming from and how much I can take out of them. Now, some of you might disagree, saying no, I need to have clear and loud opinions. I love this and I hate this. I'm heart and soul on this side, not the other. It's me against the world, right? We all know someone like that. I love those people, by the way. They're very passionate and excited about everything. Very stubborn as well. You can almost never change their minds. However, I believe it is only human to be one thing and its opposite at the same time. And I'm not the first. Francis Scott Key Fitzgerald, a 20th century American writer, once said, "The test of first-rate intelligence is the ability to hold two opposed ideas in the mind at the same time and still retain the ability to function." So what I try to do is stay in the gray as much as I can. The question is, what does the gray represent? Let's say I'm asking you to make a choice. Pick a side or give me an opinion about something. You will probably picture the situation in your heads like this. Now, when we see further, we realize it's actually more of something like that. See that big gray spectrum in between? That's where all the fun happens. The first thing I learned when I started discovering the gray is to accept myself, to accept my flaws. I learned that we all have the right and should be open to change our minds about anything and everything if we know better. I learned that every experience is worth a shot, which is why I'm here today on my first public speaking experience. I have noticed lately that a lot of people are talking about how we should try to be strong all by ourselves, always putting our needs and interests first, that it's hard to trust others or rely on them. This mindset isn't so bad if used moderately. I believe nonetheless that it has been leading to people lacking empathy, compassion, and understanding of one another more and more. That's why today I chose to promote a frame of mind in which we can all learn to understand and accept others' contradictions as well as ours. The gray is the place where you're making a choice. You're picking a side and keeping a fairly strong personality, which is very important to point out whilst talking about this. Because a lot of people mistake my words with being a pushover, letting people walk all over you. That's definitely not what I'm saying. It's just that you're not in the extreme, which means you're more willing to give new experiences a shot, even those that might not completely align with your original position. You're more flexible, you're more self-aware, which means you're more open to the fact that you might be wrong and more willing to listen to the person on the other side, who can have reasons just as good as yours, but from a different perspective. A good friend of mine once told me that the reason why a lot of people sometimes struggle to understand each other is because they don't really turn off their thoughts when they're listening. Meaning that instead of fully focusing on what the other person is saying, many people have this little voice in their heads that's always judging and comparing. It's like a mental